Justin Trudeau's Winnipeg lab scandal. Welcome to Wake Up Canada News. I'm Brad Wilder. This next article was written by Rich Angel. It started quietly back in 2018 inside Canada's most sensitive laboratory, the National Microbiology Lab in Winnipeg. This is the crown jewel of Canadian science, the place where the deadliest pathogens in the world are studied, including Ebola, Hepavirus, coronaviruses, just to name a few. What most Canadians didn't know at the time was that dangerous cracks in our national security had already been opened wide. Two scientists, Dr. Cui and her husband Keding Cheng, both highly respected researchers, were working at the lab, but while they're employed by the Canadian government, evidence later showed that their loyalties weren't as clear. Dr. Cui had developed close ties to researchers in Beijing, even those connected to the People's Liberation Army or China's military. She was co-authoring papers with high-ranking PLA scientists, even Major General Chen Wei, one of China's top epidemiologists. Then came the first bombshell. In 2018, samples of live Ebola and Hepavirus were shipped directly from the Winnipeg lab to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That transfer was approved and went through official channels, but many later questioned why some of the world's most lethal viruses were being sent to a country whose military is openly hostile to Canadian and Western interests. Now, by July of 2019, Canadian security agencies had seen enough. The RCMP suddenly escorted Cui and Cheng out of Winnipeg and out of the lab. Their clearances were revoked. They were never allowed back. At first, Ottawa said little, calling it an administration matter. But behind the scenes, CSIS had flagged serious concerns, including evidence that Dr. Cui was deliberately passing along scientific knowledge and potentially sensitive assets to Chinese institutions. Cheng, meanwhile, had been caught giving unauthorized access to restricted materials. It wasn't until January of 2021, almost 2 years later, that both scientists were officially fired. And even then, Trudeau's government fought tooth and nail to keep the details hidden from Canadians. Opposition MPs demanded answers. Why had Canada's most dangerous pathogens been shipped to Wuhan? Why was a PLA military scientist collaborating directly with our national lab? Instead of transparency, Trudeau stonewalled. His government went as far as to suing the Speaker of the House of Commons to prevent the release of the internal documents. Then, when MPs pushed harder, of course, Trudeau dissolved Parliament and called an election, effectively burying the investigation. When the documents were finally made available to a select group of MPs under heavy restrictions, what they saw confirmed their worst fears. Canada's highest-level science lab had been compromised. Sensitive research materials and knowledge had flowed directly into the hands of Beijing. But even then, officials insisted that no national secrets were lost, no pathogens had been leaked. Meanwhile, Canadians were told nothing. The official line was that it was a security matter handled, nothing to see here. But in reality, this was one of the most serious breaches in Canadian history. A foreign military, through trusted Canadian scientists, gained access to our most sensitive biological research. And the man at the top, Justin Trudeau, faced absolutely no consequences, no resignations, no accountability, and no jail time. When MPs later called it a national embarrassment, they were right. The Trudeau government only responded by installing new security measures at the lab, X-ray checks, sticker visitor rules, and revamped clearance systems. But that was after the damage was already done. So here's the truth. Canada's top lab was infiltrated. Coronavirus, Ebola, and other deadly viruses were handed over to Wuhan. Scientists with deep ties to the Chinese military worked inside our walls. The RCMP and CSIS stepped in, but the government covered it up. And when it all came out, Justin Trudeau walked away untouched, richer, and everyone pretending nothing had happened. That's how it really happened, step by step. Will you stay silent now that you know the truth? Thanks for watching Wake Up Canada News. Please like, share, and follow us on all your favorite socials, including Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, BitChute, and our website at wakeupcanadanews.com. Till next time, remember, you're the voice, and it's time to make it count. I'm Brad Wilder, and I'll see you soon.